Hey guys, welcome back into the Record Room. And on today's episode, I want to talk about an album that I'm pretty sure most of you out there will be thinking, there's no way TG likes this album. But the truth is, I adore this album. This is one of my favorite albums of all time. It came out at a time when I was going through some things, and for some reason, this was the album I listened to. I wasn't a particularly big fan of the band, and truth be told, I've kind of never really been a fan of the band. I've seen them live a couple of times, and it's been good. Don't get me wrong, but would I call myself a fan? I don't know, probably not. But for this album, I am 100% dedicated. The album in question is, of course, My Chemical Romance's Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge. Now, this has recently been released as of today, as of the day you are watching this video, Friday the 6th. This has just been released. I picked up this copy from my local record store, Eclipse Records, so if you want to go and grab yourself a copy, you can do. They have the indie vinyl variant, which is on this kind of red and black smoke. I'll show you in a little bit, but I've rushed home because I wanted to give this a listen, because this is an album that sonically has always sounded pretty good. I do have an original copy of this on vinyl, which sounds fine. Well, I say original copy. It came from the, when was it? It was like the mid 2010s. It was basically before the album was remastered, because the album got a remaster in 2016. It was subsequently released on vinyl a few different ways, but I never heard that version. I only have one copy of this record. But I was intrigued by this, because the album's been split over 2 discs, and it actually says on here, newly remixed audio by Rich Costly. And I have thoughts. I have thoughts that I want to share with you, because I busted this open and I've already listened to it. I've given it the full, I cranked the volume, and there are a couple of things that kind of puzzle me about this release. One, this album, the classic 2004 album remixed. Now, if an album is a classic from 2004, surely releasing it in 2024 for its 20th anniversary would have made sense. But no, 21 years later, here we are. And this has been split over 2 discs. It says 17 tracks, on 2 LPs, 4 of which are additional tracks. 3 unreleased, recorded live for the BBC in 2005. So essentially what you get is the album and 4 additional tracks recorded for a BBC live session. But what they don't tell you is that only actually takes up 3 sides of vinyl. The 4th side on this is blank. Well, I say blank, there's an etching on it. It doesn't have any material. So it begs belief, why has this been made a 2 LP set? Because the 4 extra tracks, it's a nice EP to have. Sure, it's great to hear these classic tracks from the band at the time, but is it really necessary to pay a premium as well? I mean, this album is $39.99. It's not cheap. So that kind of did leave me scratching my head a bit, like, why expand it but not really do anything, and then just throw an etching on the second side? It almost, I'd say it almost smells like a cash-in, but you don't do a cash-in on the 21st anniversary, 20th anniversary, 25th, 30th. 21st just left me a little bit baffled. It does, of course, have new artwork, which is pretty cool. I will say I do like that. The album itself, well, as I've said before, I'm a huge fan of this album. I love all of this. Not a bad track on this album for me. This is one of my Desert Island discs. You know me, if you've been watching this channel for any time now, you know that I cover a myriad of music. I love all music apart from indie music. However, this album will always hold a special place in my heart. Whatever you want to call it, emo, punk rock, pop rock, whatever it is, I just love this record. And so I was always going to pick this up because I was intrigued about this new remix. I mean, my original version, or my reissue of the original version, always sounded pretty good. I don't remember it ever sounding to the point of where I was I'd rather stream that or listen to it on CD. But I got this home and I cleaned this up, and I didn't actually know it was on coloured vinyl. I didn't realise that the indie variant came on coloured vinyl. And I'll actually show it for you now, because it's a nice opaque red with some black smoke running through it. So it's not a colour we kind of haven't seen before. This has been done a few times. What did surprise me about this album was that after listening to it, after cleaning it up and after listening to it, was how freaking awesome it sounded. Jeez, this album, I sat down, listened, and I had my impress me bro face on in front of my turntable, and I was impressed. This album just completely blew me away. The sonics, the depth on the vocals, it's incredible. It is absolutely incredible. I would say if you already have a copy of Three Cheers for Street Revenge and you're not like a massive diehard, you can probably skip this. You really can. But if you are looking for a great sounding copy, this copy sounds phenomenal. I genuinely went in kind of a little bit po-faced, and I'm so glad I've had to eat my words, because my favourite album has now had an upgrade, or one of my favourite albums I should say, and sounds sonically better than I've ever heard it before. I listened to it with a kind of a dynamic freshness that I hadn't heard since I first listened to the album 20 plus years ago. It's so cool. So this album has some great points and also some baffling points. I just don't understand why you would give us a second disc of 4, radio tracks. Who cares? Outside of your diehards, who cares? The etching is pretty cool. The etching is the lovers from the front cover. Now, I don't know if this is coming across. I can barely see it, and I'm right in front of it. It's not, shall we say, a deep etching, but you do have it on there in case you want to check it out. And I'll show you the LP, because unfortunately the packaging is a little bit of a letdown on this. I will say that much. There is a lot of opportunity that you can do with this album. I mean, even when they did the Live on the Murder Scene reissue or release, which was a live album, I think there was a DVD, they had the original artwork but portrayed by real actors, real humans, and it looked so cool. The artwork is great, don't get me wrong. I love this rosary, but it's not a gatefold. It's just a double wide sleeve. That's it. You do get 2 paper inner sleeves. Terrible, but you do get a nice insert. You do. This is nice. Nice to have. Nice big insert there. Credits on the back. All in all, it's not like the worst reissue package I've ever seen. It really isn't. There are way worse ones out there. However, for that premium, essentially what you're getting is the same album we've had for 21 years now. 4 additional tracks, one of which was used as a B-side for a single. 3 are unreleased, so it's nice to hear them. It's nice to hear the band at that time captured in all their kind of live glory. And then you get an etching and some new artwork, and then maybe if you buy it at an indie retailer, you get it on a colour. It's up to you whether it's worth grabbing. I've already done it, so use me as your barometer. Do you need this? I don't know. I wouldn't say this was an essential purchase. If you're a fan of the album, trust me, it sounds incredible. It sounds really good. For a vinyl pressing, it was whisper quiet and sounded really dynamic. So the remaster or the remix, whatever they've done, it's good. It genuinely is good. However, is it worth £40? Well, as I said, I've already spent my money, so that, my friends, is up to you. But I do love this album. This will be the copy that I spin from now on, but I only need 1 disc. I don't need both of them, because chances are I may listen to that EP once in a blue moon. But for me, this will be my go-to copy. But let me know in the comments below, are you planning on picking this one up? Are you new to the album? Is it something you overlooked at the time because you thought, it's one of those emo albums? trust me, give it a listen. You know, there are a million different streaming platforms out there. You can check this album out, and I think it is worth your time. I really do. But that's it for this episode. Thank you for joining me once again. But until next time, stay gold and spin those blackest circles.